before you talk, and if you don't, we'll do our best to politely remind you. So I'm sure I will mess it up 1,000 times today as well, so please also remind me. We'll go ahead and we will call this meeting to order. This is the final meeting of the 2026 Faculty Advisory Council. And just to begin, I want to thank all of you for your dedication and service to shared governance, for this transition that we were going through from Senate to a Faculty Advisory Council. I think we should definitely all be proud of the work that we have done here. And I think it's gone about as well as we could hope that it could. That doesn't mean there isn't work still to be done, because there definitely is, but I think we should all be proud. And just to remind everybody that we are the representative body of the faculty here at West Texas A&M University. We are only advisory in nature, but we do have the ears of the leadership here at WT, so we can advocate for our faculty here at WT. So with that said, we do have a bit of a busy agenda today. So for line item number 1, I will turn it over to Dr. Windler for remarks.
Okay, thank you. By the way, I've asked Dr. Cherry when he's available to come and join us, and he's here today. And I'm thankful for that. Thank you, Neil, for being here. I just had 2 things I wanted to mention. I wanted to see how many of you have had chances to meet with your deans and talk about what we're doing and share. Is that going okay? People are. That's good. That's good. And if you haven't, I continue to work on trying to set up a time and visit. But I think from what Dr. Cherry said, that the deans are saying that they're getting a chance to visit, so on and so forth. And I don't have a hard outcome. There's not a hard goal on that, except communication up and down, because I consider the deans to be a part of the sort of campus executive leadership. When I was a dean, I saw my time as 51%. I don't know. I had a soul. I still used to have a soul when I was dean. I saw my job as 51% as dean of the College of Architecture at Texas A&M, and 49% of the time as a representative of Texas A&M University to all who come calling. That's the way I saw this split. And I don't know if every dean would view their jobs that way. But that's how I saw it. And I think hearing from you all some of the things that we're talking about from your perspective, because you know the deans and so on and so forth, I think that's a good thing to do. And I think they'll appreciate it. That's one thing. Another thing I wanted to mention, and I'll be brief with it today, just to kind of reintroduce the thought. In 2018, not to put too fine a point on it, but October 26, 2018, we talked about the idea of digital textbooks for the campus. That was 8 years ago. Since that time, Dr. Cherry has negotiated some very good agreements, and we lessened our sort of the horizon that we were looking at from all of the undergraduate programs to just the core curriculum programs, the courses in the core curriculum. And I think all of those courses now are using digital textbooks, which has incurred a great savings for students, I believe. And I don't believe, as a matter of fact, I believe the opposite of this. It has not decreased quality. I think it has the potential to increase quality and increase learning, because a lot of studies will show that students avoid buying textbooks because they don't have the resources and so on and so forth. If they're digitally available, the likelihood of the student using the textbook from the very beginning of the class doesn't guarantee it, but it goes up. And in August 2025, which is a year ago now, almost a year ago, I kind of broached the subject again on costs to students, to help us reduce the cost to students. And by the way, this helps when we make proposals for other fee increases, because we're asked, what are you doing to tighten your belt? Are you looking for savings in other areas? In a fee increase proposal not long ago, I was asked that, and I cited the textbook savings, and I said, in fact, the savings by not having students pay for textbooks in the core courses was more than the fee increases. So it's a net gain for students. And I know not all faculty see the costs and so on as part of their sort of part, something they could do something about. There's not always a locus of control in there. But for me, I think it's very important because it demonstrates concern to the well-being of the students, which I believe the vast majority of faculty on our campus have. They want to see, they want to try to help the students attain their life aspirations that can be attained through educational processes. They want to do that. They want to do it in an effective way, a cost-effective way, and so on and so forth. So what I want to do is start a discussion. I don't want to even have the discussion today. I want to put this on the table again, and now look at what it would take for step 2, which is to make the undergraduate program where there's no cost to students for any textbooks. Which doesn't mean there won't be textbooks, but there's no cost to any students for textbooks, and no increased fees for textbooks. There are a good number of campuses that have OER opportunities where you can buy access to the textbook, password protected sites with textbooks, and you pay a fee for that. So that reduces the weight of your backpack, but doesn't reduce the impact on your wallet. And I'm very interested in the impact of the wallet because the student indebtedness, it's a little bit better, but not much. And I think there are, the general public has indicated in the last few years, been a little bit of an uptick this year, but very modest, that their confidence in higher education for all kinds of reasons is diminished, say from what it was 50 years ago or 25 years ago, or even 10 years ago. And not what I believe, I mean, I can cite studies, a good number of them, that the primary factor is increased cost and a diminished rate of return on the investment. Whether people like that logic or not, it's what people perceive. And we have to deal with some of that. So here's what I wanted to ask each of you as faculty advisory committee members. If possible, before the next meeting, which is now in the fall, actually. Yeah. But I would say, if possible, in the next couple of weeks, if you could just pen a few thoughts about what you think the positives or negatives, either both or one or the other, of this idea of moving towards a completely digital intellectual support. I don't even like to call them textbooks. I consider it intellectual support. And you all know this, the AI sort of opportunities and availabilities have radically changed in just the last 2 or 3 years. Since this first reflection where I talked about this in 2018, I mean, it's markedly different now. And even in the last year, it's markedly different. And it's going to get more different. And there's going to be more opportunities for each of us as intellectuals and academics to produce the intellectual support for our teaching efforts personally and to tailor it for what we want to do. And like with the deals that Neil negotiated with, for example, Cengage, you can cut apart and paste and put together your own textbooks. And then with being able to add into it, not for every course, obviously, but for many courses, and then be able to add in what you want, it's just, there's a lot of opportunity. And if you have ideas about how we could create incentives for faculty to engage this, maybe, I don't know. But if you have any ideas about it, I'd be pleased, other than this is not a good idea, because in 5 years, it's going to be done. And we have the opportunity still, but it's shrinking, to be in a leadership role, which creates more distinctiveness for us and will likely lead, I think, to more interest in WT as a place that's student-centered and quality-centered. If I thought this had any diminishment of the quality of our educational offerings, I wouldn't suggest it. But there's no evidence to suggest that it does. Not a shred. Not a shred. Not a shred. But there's plenty of evidence to show that indebtedness is driving people away from college. Just ask the 50% that drop out with no degree and making good academic progress. And textbooks, obviously, not the only thing. And yes, the state doesn't support higher ed the way we wish they would and so on and so forth. But we work all the time to change that reality. And it's a little bit like a brick wall. Anyway, that's my sort of thing. So if you could take a few minutes, and I really would be interested to hear from you all as faculty advisory committee members, what you think, pros, cons, bad idea, potentially good idea, positive impacts, negative impacts, whatever. I'd love to hear it.
Thank you, Dr. Windler.
My pleasure.
Next for line item number 2, approval of the minutes. And so you should have a copy of the minutes from our previous meeting. I'll give you all a minute to look over those. Let us know if there are any needs for corrections. Bridget, thank you. Second? Second. All in favor? Excellent. I will make these the official minutes then, and I will get them posted to our website. So thank you. Hopefully you all got my email about the web content accessibility guidelines, and the due date has been delayed for 1 year. So celebration on that one. Yeah. Now, between our last meeting and this one, I did attend the training. I found it to be very helpful. They are doing a second, like a part 2 of that training as well. Ideally now, with this year delay in the due date, it'll give us all more time now that we have a better idea of sort of what's going to be required for all of us. So if you haven't yet, please let the faculty know in your college about how that due date has been delayed. I was going to just briefly mention the A&M system review of our courses with Dr. Terry here. Dr. Terry, I wasn't planning on saying anything more really above and beyond what you wrote in your note, but do you just want to speak on that for just a second?
Needed or not, but I never thought it was going to end up being all that big of a deal. When we went and did it, it was not, as far as I'm concerned. I think 1,100 courses. 11 were flagged. Half of those were in social work, and that was partially based on language as part of their accreditation that was being flagged from their syllabi, which just change the syllabi around a little bit and say, well, go to the website for the accreditation. So I've tried to tell people that if we had real problems in this space, I would know. I primarily run a complaint department. I know whatever's going wrong, I'm aware of it. I don't know I can always fix it, but I'm aware of it. And so if there was one of those kind of things that our faculty were doing and things that were really out there, I'm just telling you, like, students can't wait to go through and complain, or faculty can't wait to tell on each other, or whatever the case may be. So I was never too concerned going through. When I was visiting people for tenure and promotion, a lot of them were concerned. And I said, like, I don't think so. So I may not always end up being right, but I was glad to be correct on this one. This is one where I just don't think that the perception that's out there when it comes to higher education versus the reality of what's actually going on in classes, I think there's a big difference between what maybe some of the politicians think that they're doing. And by the way, when it comes to it, most of the target would tend to end up being fine arts and humanities is where they think there's going to be all those problems and stuff. And so I think they had 2 out of the 11. I think there were 2. And even those are not all that complicated, in all honesty and stuff. So it's just, in my opinion, that's just not true and stuff. And so I think that hopefully that just kind of like confirms what we already know. For the most part, people teach their classes, they do their topics, they do it in a very professional way. They're not all this controversial. There's not all this grooming going on. Or if there is, it's not going on here, right? And once again, if it was, I just feel I would know. Not because I want to know. People can't wait to tell me. So anyway, so I'd be very positive, and I'm not really concerned to where it goes from here, right? Because they'll still end up going through and end up doing stuff, but where it goes from here and stuff. And so the other one that you've had, I think, in one of your things, I don't know if it'll be on this list or not, but the next one is that you now, before someone can go through the tenure and promotion process, there has to end up being a background check for that individual. And it's just one where, like, all the provosts, I was in a meeting and they were all like, oh, that's such a good idea and stuff. Like, I don't know, like, it must be nice to, like, be at your institution. You don't know anything going on. I promise you that if someone was on Randall County mugshots, I've had 10 people send that to me within 24 hours. There's none of you getting away with anything where you've been arrested and I don't know about it. It's not so. even with that one, I don't really understand the point of some of the stuff we go through. So everyone else, that was a good idea. Like, I don't think it's going to make any difference. We don't need it doing a background check. You do a background check whenever someone's hired. And after that, I mean, at least in our fishbowl, when something like that happens. So I would go through and say, well, that is a new policy. I mean, that Brandon might have seen some things he was a little bit concerned about it. And at the same time, to me, like, that doesn't change anything. It's the same type of thing where you're going to go through and do these course reviews. There's nothing there. There's something that ends up happening with one of our faculty members. We know long before they're through that stage. So anyway, I think in general, people really just focus on their job, do a good job. And I think that shows in the data and the results.
Thank you, Dr. Terry. It was very helpful. Also, the spring faculty address is May 1st at 10 a.m., where Dr. Terry will be speaking and other leaders from around the university. So please remind your faculty about that to attend. Also, college and university awards will be announced there as well. So please let your colleagues know about that. I do meet with the Chancellor's Faculty Advisory Council, is what we refer to ourselves as. Those are the presidents of the other faculty advisory councils from across the A&M system. We get together once a month. One thing that we discussed were the background checks for somebody going up for tenure that Dr. Terry just mentioned. One thing that other individuals mentioned were what they're viewing as an increase in student suicides around the other A&M system schools. I personally haven't heard about anything like that here at WT, but I just wanted to let you guys know about that it seems like some of them are seeing an increase in that type of thing. Unfortunately, we did reach out to Vice Chancellor Hallmark to get his feedback on that. He let us know about mental health initiatives and apps and things that are available to students and faculty members as well. Also, I did exchange a few emails with Dr. Hallmark. One thing that I mentioned to him was our change in Magister Optimus. He said that he couldn't believe that we were ever giving it to administrators. And so he thought that that was a fantastic change that we made because it never should have been that way in the first place. So I'm glad that we got his stamp of approval on that change as well. Hopefully you saw in my note to the faculty about emeritus status. And so it does seem, for whatever reason, that nominating faculty members for emeritus status has kind of fallen through the cracks. And so if you can think of a faculty member who has retired from the university, if I'm remembering correctly, I believe they needed to be here for 10 years, then please just submit a letter to me and to Dr. Terry, and we will proceed with it from there. We have already received one letter for emeritus, but if you can think of other deserving faculty, we would definitely love to get those also. So keep that in mind for yourself, and also please let your faculty members know about that as well, because there are definitely deserving faculty who should probably get emeritus status, and we would love to make that happen for them.
Brandon, may I ask a question?
Of course.
I'd like to ask two questions since I have you and Dr. Terry here. So for emeritus faculty, is there a qualification on rank, and are letters accepted on a kind of a rolling basis? Those are my two questions.
Yeah, rank. There's no qualifications on rank, and we're only going to submit to system once a year. So they could be, you could forward them on a rolling basis, but it'll just stay in the queue until it's time to go to system. Right.
Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Metter and Dr. Terry. Also, we will need to nominate a new ombuds officer. Either me or Dr. Anderson will be reaching out to all of the faculty to ask for nominations. I do know that Dr. Roush is planning on putting his name forward to serve a third and final term. For ombuds officer, you can only serve 3 terms in a row, but that doesn't mean we can't accept more nominations. And Dr. Anderson requested the former faculty senates. She's also requested it of us to come up with a more formal selection process for ombuds officer. That's one thing that I've had on the back burner. I haven't had time to get to, but I will get to that this summer. And so I'll likely be reaching out to all of you for your feedback and help on that. So we can come up with something that's a little bit more formal for that.
Before you leave that one, there is a fairly substantial stipend on there. Off the top of my head, I don't know what it is, but it's not inconsequential for that position. And probably you can go through and say by not having a formal synod anymore, maybe more need for that ombuds position to end up being active, right? That would be that's one of the inroads that you have when, especially if there's faculty on faculty conflict. That's a way to end up going through and going to administration without necessarily being the college administration, right? So I don't know the role will end up being more important, but it could be as you end up going through and you have a little bit change in the governance structure and stuff. And Dave hasn't been doing it for free. So just know that if someone's interested in it, there's at least some compensation for it.
Thank you, Dr. Terry. Yes, there definitely is a stipend. And as I mentioned to Dr. Terry and Dr. Anderson, I've been slightly hesitant to advertise that because I would say it's substantial and I was afraid that might attract like bad actors. So I wasn't really sure how to treat that. But yes, there is a substantial stipend. And I was speaking with Dr. Roush the other day. He is working with a faculty member currently as ombuds officer, and I was joking with him because, as you guys know, we've been really working on getting the ombuds officer out there because we do think it's an important resource for the faculty. And so I was joking with him saying that whenever somebody comes to him, we should have him give them like a survey or something so we can figure out how they heard about him. And he said, well, I already know for this one, they saw one of your flyers. So the flyer worked. And so hopefully we'll keep those flyers around to keep drumming up more business for Dr. Roush when it is needed.
If I may, I don't think being secretive about the compensation is a good idea because your observation that it could cause a bad actor to be interested. It also might cause a good actor who is careful with their time and so on because they're serious about what they do. So if there's a downside, there's also an upside to it. And it's not a state secret. I mean, I think transparency is always best.
The stipend is $10,000. So if you would like to throw your name in the hat and you're not a bad actor, we'd love to have you.
Well, they can throw their name in the hat if they are a bad actor, but hopefully good actors would see through the process and hire somebody that had the sort of experience and reputation and so on. That's just my humble opinion.
Yeah. Thank you. The Faculty Insight Portal. Oh, excuse me. I almost missed the lapel pins. Dr. Raspberry wanted me to mention to all of you that if you are an endowed professor position, they do have lapel pins available for you. So they would love for you guys to wear those to advertise your professorship. And so if you haven't received yours yet and you have one of those positions, reach out to him. And please let your faculty know about that also. The Faculty Insight Portal has been picking up, which we love to see because in order to advocate for the faculty, we need to hear from the faculty and know what issues they have going on. We did have a faculty member who was having an issue with the new H-1B policy. That person reached out. I reached out to leadership in those positions to make sure it was on their radar. It definitely was on their radar, and that situation got completely solved. So we were happy that we could help out at all with that. Also, I mentioned to you all last time that someone reached out to the Faculty Insight Portal concerning who could chair master's theses or doctoral dissertations. According to graduate school policy, it was only tenured faculty who could chair those. So I reached out to Angela Spalding, to Dean Spalding, and requested a meeting with her. She asked me what exactly the kind of insight or complaint was. I don't like calling them complaints, but what the insight was. I let her know, she and Rex know, and that was at 8 a.m. on Monday. She presented it to Dean's Council at 10 a.m. that same day. I met with Rex about it on Wednesday, and the change was essentially made. Now, if you're a non-tenured track faculty member, you can chair master's theses or doctoral dissertations. You just need to get the approval from an administrator in your college, such as a department head or an associate dean. And so we were glad that we could help out with that, and we continue to hope that we can massage policy or procedural barriers where the faculty need us to. We also recently received one concerning the IRB. An IRB member said that they are kept very, very busy, and we do have at least 2 members of the IRB right here. And so Dr. Chin and Dr. Metter and I are kind of talking about how exactly we want to go about approaching this. But please remind your faculty about the Faculty Insight Portal. If they have something that they want to bring to our attention, we're making sure that we pay very close and particular attention to those. If they bring something to us, we're at least going to inquire about it. That doesn't mean we always get wins, because we received one about Canvas. And so a faculty member requested that we be able to publish our Canvas course spaces ourselves, that they're not just automatically published for us like 5 days before the semester. That day I met with the Office of Academic Affairs, and they politely told me that is never going to happen. And I said, all right. But I did email that faculty member, and I let them know. So we are happy to inquire, and hopefully we get some wins along the way, and I'm happy to say that we have. That is everything from me. With that, I will turn the time over to Dr. Brooks, who will have some updates from the Merit Subcommittee.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Doug. I'll keep this super brief because I know we have a lot of new business to deal with nominations. But I guess there's 2 main things I want to say. We're going to circulate a revised version of the proposal. I really hope to get it written today, but I didn't quite get it written. So I'll circulate that in the next week or so to incorporate some of the comments you made last week or last time, Dr. Wendler, some of the comments that the Dean's Council made, some discussions I've had with the provost and other faculty and administrators. So I'll circulate that next week. Also, we met, I should say, by the way, we're calling it a committee, not a subcommittee. That's one
That's
thing.
right, yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot to make the change.
At our last committee meeting, we decided we're going to call it a committee rather than a subcommittee.
All right, do you want to hit your button? I'm not sure you have. There you go.
So we'll circulate that next week. I'm not going to go into details about the way we've revised the proposal unless you all would like me to. I guess the second other thing is we've decided to keep the more, aspirational elements of the proposal on there. Things regarding equity pay increases across the board, more frequent merit pay increases, salary floor increases, things like that. We've decided we're going to keep those things on there, with the understanding that those have to be somewhat aspirational at this point. One thing I guess we'd like to ask of you, Dr. Wendler, is it would help us, or whoever us is moving forward, especially into the next year, it would help us advise you better if we had sort of more information about, for instance, what's happening with faculty pay, salary, labor costs, that kind of thing, in terms of other costs that the university is having to pay for. Trying to think about changes at that level. Data like that, I think, would help us a lot in thinking about what we could call for, what maybe we wouldn't be realistic to call for. So, and there's some other things that I think would help with thinking aspirationally, but maybe those could be saved for later. But I just wanted to kind of make that request of you while you're here.
That's a good point. On Monday and Tuesday, we'll be in College Station at what we call the programmatic budget review, and it's our proposals for next year. And we're making a proposal for a 3% merit pool. And of course, the condition on that is that we have the resources. And significantly, those resources typically will come from tuition and fees. I mean, that's the answer to almost every financial problem we have. Even raising $209 million, which has been a remarkable, I think, achievement for our campus. That doesn't provide faculty and staff salary increases. Those are not pass-through funds. their endowments. They do provide increases for folks like with endowments and that kind of thing. But I think it's good. And I have not looked carefully, Ryan, and would be pleased to look at how other aspects of the enterprise ebb and flow relative to faculty pay. And I would also look at staff pay too, just to get a better sense of it. It'd be interesting. So I've made myself a note and I'll do that. But I did want to let you all know that we're proposing a 3% merit pool for next year. But a lot of that is contingent on enrollment growth. Obviously, if the enrollment was, if the enrollment dropped 10%, I think people wouldn't say, gosh, we need a pay raise. So they might, but it's hard to do when the sort of coin of our realm, which are students, are not participating. But I don't think that's going to happen. Don't misunderstand that. That's just a radical example. And if it goes up 10%, we may do better than a 3% merit pool. We just have to see.
So just as an observation, it's my guess, and I appreciate Ryan bringing this up. Things like energy costs, SSC costs, IT expenses, things that if we had a package of those things measured, my guess is what happens is that those things have to end up going through and be funded. And we're talking about the digital books thing, my concern. So I visited with McGraw-Hill, and McGraw-Hill is all interested in doing the next contract. Now they want to increase it $225,000 a year, and the next one, and that ends up being one where if we're going to do the digital books, well, we have to decide we're going to pay them more. If we're going to pay them more, that's an expense. It takes around between $400,000 and $600,000 in new budget to end up going through and do a 1% increase in merit. So whenever you have someone like the textbook group say they want an extra 225, that matters as we end up going through and doing it. And so my hypothesis would end up being that a lot of the other things that we don't have the ability to negotiate with have went up quite a bit. And when it comes to salaries, that it's not that it's not more important. It just ends up being one that's like, okay, is there any money left over whenever we've done all these other types of stuff? And I think that if we track that a little bit, that might help the president with things like being able to have discussions with the regents, because they're trying to take care of students and say that, we don't want to increase the cost of students. And I think everyone's sensitive to that. But I do worry a little bit that faculty are in a situation, staff are in a situation where they're the ones that kind of get crowded out and all this kind of stuff. We're going to take care of the students on the one hand. We got these other expenses that we have to pay on the other. I think if we showed that we have these other expenses going up, that at least helps if we get into a situation where at least the regents are open about where we're at to go through and say, look at the last 6 years. These energy costs have went up 20%. SSCs went up 10%. Right, and stuff. And we have had a nice meeting with one of the more influential regents going through and up saying that he doesn't think that enrollment increase is the answer to everything. And in fact, he went out of his way to say that in institutions like ours, being able to maintain enrollment may actually be a win. And we need to start thinking about it that way. So I'm encouraged by some of those things. Dr. Wendell has a lot more information than I do, but I appreciate the nature of the discussion with Ryan and everybody kind of bringing it up in this. I think that gets us closer to a solution. When it comes to the aspirational stuff, I'd be one that was a little bit critical, Ryan, on it, going through and saying, like, to say that we want more raises more frequently, okay, that's aspirational, but it doesn't do anything. We have to, at some point in time, have plans, like I think what Ryan's saying. Let's go and get information on some other expenses that we have and start tracking that along with the labor costs, where we at least have something that we can end up going through that's concrete that we can look at. I think those will be important things as we go through and try to work through this. And so I appreciate everybody's effort on it.
Dr. Brooks, anything else from you?
Unless anyone has questions, I think we're probably good to move on.
Right. Excellent. Well, thank you, Dr. Terry, Dr. Brooks, and Dr. Windler on that. I know that it's been a tough one for the committee this year, but we're dedicated to continue to work on it. So it's been a lot of hard work for everyone. Our two largest new business items for today, clearly to select university committees and also to do Magister Optimus. And so at times in the previous Senate, selecting university committee members has been a bit, Audrey, what do you think a good word for it would be? Chaotic?
And nebulous.
Yeah, So we are trying to cut down on the chaos as much as possible. So the executive committee met this week, and I know that everybody is concerned about voting over live stream. So we decided that we would do nominations here. So we'll get nominations for all of the positions. Then we will do a Qualtrics survey. We will send that out. Have you guys all complete that and vote by the end of the day on Tuesday. And that's how we will do the voting. No doubt we will have ties, probably. There's just really no way of getting around that. If we do have ties, we'll just continue to do further Qualtrics surveys until we have no more ties. Then once we have all those members, we will further nominate them and we will forward those names off to the Office of Academic Affairs. Now, in order to help kill the chaos in this process, I did put all of the positions that we are filling here on this front page. Also from the intranet, I did copy and paste kind of how university committees work on page 2. I don't assume too many of us are on the intranet there very often, so that gives us some information and background on university committees. And then there is a page dedicated to each university committee where we need to nominate faculty members to serve. So Dr. Chin and Dr. Metter will be writing down the people that you nominate. Also, when you nominate someone, we will give you an opportunity to say something about them if you feel as if they're a faculty member who isn't like extremely well known, to kind of give us something to go off for voting. Ideally for you guys, you will write those names down here too. Maybe write something about those faculty members. So then when you go to Qualtrics to vote, you can bring this back up and you can look and see what you wrote down about those people. Obviously, we're also being live streamed, so if you need to, you can go back and listen to the recording. I know that was a lot. Questions, needs for clarifications? Did I explain everything okay? All right, excellent. I also put descriptions of each of those committees too up here at the top from the intranet, because I know for some of us, some of these university committees can be a bit ambiguous what exactly they do. So we do have a description up here. Also, some of you may have served on these committees or know about them. If you do, we may solicit your services to help let us know what these committees do. I assume Dr. Terry and Dr. Wendler may be able to help out with that some as well. Also, I don't know if you guys received these emails, but I know that I received some frustration from faculty members who have been put on university committees before, but their names don't appear on the committees. I know there's an individual who's not at WT anymore. I've had their name replaced on the alcohol committee twice. They still appear there. All we do is get the list from the Office of Academic Affairs and we fill those positions. So we just kind of do what we're told in that regard. So with that said, as long as there are no questions, hopefully you all have the nominations from your college. I know Dr. Barbosa and I lit up his email one night telling faculty members in our college to email us if they would like to nominate themselves. So I have a list here for my college. Ray obviously has a list that I assume looks pretty similar to mine. Probably not exactly the same, but I would assume relatively close. With that said, we will start then on page number 3 with the Alcohol and Other Drugs Committee. Dr. Terry, could you briefly say if you know what exactly this committee does?
It sounds like a fun committee, but I believe that they review policies as in our implementation of the policies for alcohol and drugs. And you're going to focus a lot on what happens in the dorms where students have ended up going through and possibly getting in trouble for these policies and how they're being enforced. And so it'll be enforcement of our alcohol and drug policy, I'm sure.
Thank you. So we need to nominate 2 faculty members from any college. And do you guys have any type of systematic way you think we should do this, or should we just call for nominations?
I say just call for no.
All right, if you would like to nominate a faculty member, please do so.
we share Well, I have two nominations from College of Fine Arts and Humanities. One of them is Dr. George Pacheco, and the other is Dr. Sarah Rushing. So do you want me to say more about them, or is that good?
Do you feel like you need to say
Oh,
any more
yeah,
about
yes,
them?
yeah.
I'm not.
I could say more about each of them. Dr. George Pacheco Jr. is an associate professor of communication from the Department of Communication. He is also the faculty advisor of the first gen student organization here at WT. So he has extensive experiences working with students. He works really well with students. And regarding Dr. Sarah Rushing, she does those art-related things. So she does the things I am least good at doing. So she will bring about brand new aspects to the committee. Yes, Ryan, you have any?
I don't know if this would be appropriate to say this because I'm still figuring out the process, but I'm noticing Sarah Rushing has nominated or self-nominated for several committees, whereas this is the only committee George Pacheco has requested being nominated to. In case that, in thinking about who
It's
should.
really up to you guys if you want to nominate those faculty members or not who contacted you. I would leave that to you and your colleagues' discretion from your college. I know for me, if they emailed Ray or I'm going to put their name forward and then we can vote it out. But it's honestly, you guys are your representatives. So however you want to treat that.
Well, at this point, I put all their names here.
Yeah.
So no matter how many committees they got nominated themselves to, I put them here.
That's good to share, still, Ryan, though, because that provides perspective
Yeah,
too, though,
for
right?
the, especially for a vote, so, yeah.
I would like to nominate from the College of Engineering, Dr. Sulin Song. She is an assistant professor, not even in her third year. And I would say it's kind of hard in our college to get some of us out of our shell. And she does that. She's very committed to the university. She attends sporting events, basketball, football, which I think maybe where alcohol and drugs may pop up. But she's very committed to the university. She reached out, wanted to serve, and I highly recommend her. She's a great faculty member.
Other nominations for the Alcohol and Other Drugs Committee.
We've got a couple. Dr. Colleen Peace and Dr. Azza Barakovich. And I'm going to let Allie talk a little bit more about them since she knows them better.
Both of these, I'm just going to talk about both of them. I think that they would both serve very well on this committee. They both work with students closely. In nursing, you kind of have to have that type of relationship with your students. So I don't think that they would have any problem discussing issues regarding drugs or alcohol abuse. So,
Can you share their names again? Sorry.
Dr. Colleen Peace and Dr. Azra Barakovich.
Thank you. Other nominations? I know that I have two from my college, Dr. Lydia Miller and Dr. Robin Johnson. Dr. Lydia Miller is an assistant professor of psychology. Ray, would you like to say anything about Robin Johnson?
She also has really invested in writing with me, especially to our K-12 schools. What we just wrote an article, and so she's very committed. I strongly advise her to be on that committee, nominate her. And it's more about grievance in schools. She knows behavior very well, so it was a K-12 school for a high school principal's article that we wrote, if you want to read it.
Thank you. Any further nominations for that committee? We do need two people for that one. So again, we will vote on that one. The two people with the most votes, we will give that position to them. A lot of these positions do have to come from specific colleges. This one's not that way. So.
Brent, I was very proud of myself for pointing out that Sarah was nominated for multiple categories and George was just nominated for one, but I neglected to flip the page over. So George has also been nominated for something else. So I wanted to correct myself.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Brooks.
Yeah.
All right, we will move on to the next one. which is the Faculty Development Committee. If you would like to see what they do, we have a little blurb there from the intranet. With that said, it looks like we need to replace 4 positions, 1 from the College of Business, 2 from Education and Social Sciences, 1 from Nursing and Health Sciences. I assume we will just start from the top. So the College of Business, do you have a nominee for that position?
Dallin Smith from accounting, Dallin.
Any others? Excellent. Education and Social Sciences. Ray, who do you have for this one?
You should have, you don't have any.
I have 3. Yeah, do you have 3?
Yes.
I have Amy Carlson, Robin Johnson, and Brianna Ponce.
Oh, I didn't have Brianna.
Okay.
I didn't have Brianna.
So Amy Carlson for 1, Robin Johnson, and Brianna Ponce. Ray, do you have a different one? Do you have another one too? Okay. Do you want to say anything about Amy Carlson?
Amy Carlson is she's fairly new. She's really excited to be on anything that she wants to help out with, especially with I would say leadership. And so that's all I really can say about Amy. Who else is there?
You already said something about Robin.
Yeah.
And then the last one is my colleague in criminal justice, Dr. Brianna Ponce. She just received her PhD about a year ago from an A&M system school in criminal justice. She's doing fantastic. She's definitely eager to serve, eager to get out on campus and meet new people. So we would love to see her, but any of those appointed to those positions. Excellent.
For your knowledge as you go through and do it, then Brian Mazzini has been kind of the centerpiece of doing new faculty and then doing faculty development grants for a long time. So he's going to become the history department chair. So there'll be a new person in that spot. I'm not sure who it's going to be. That'd be up to Dr. Anderson to pick who she wants to work with, but that position will be open. So as you're looking at people, I don't know if it's good that they're new. It'd be nice to have someone that's received a faculty development grant before, in my opinion, or at least a couple people on the committee that have done that, just from the perspective that it'll be a different crew, right? It'll be different leadership next year. So. Thank
you, Dr. Terry. And lastly, from the College of Nursing and Health Sciences, do we have a nominee?
We have 3.
Great.
The first name is Elizabeth Thompson, goes by Ryan Thompson. We have Dr. Colleen Peace and Dr. Azra Barakovich again.
You guys want to say anything about any of those individuals? And it's not compulsory. We're not making you guys. Only if you want to, you feel like it's helpful.
I will. I mean, I work with them.
Great.
So, I'm a neutral person, so I don't want to, so I'm going to talk about them all together.
Sure.
They're all very cheerful, I think, and have been, they're kind of all started around the same time. And so they've recently been through faculty development process and could probably have some good insight.
Excellent. Great. That should be all for that one. Next, we will move on to the Faculty Emeritus Committee. Looks like we need 1 faculty member from Agriculture and Natural Sciences and 1 from the College of Engineering. And do we have a nominee from the Agriculture and Natural Sciences?
We would like to nominate Sushil Thapa. He's a newer faculty in plant science, but his advisor when he was here as a student was Dr. Bob Stewart. So I feel like he would have some good perspective.
Can you repeat the name?
Oh, Sushil, Sushil, Thapa, Thapa.
And any other nominees from your college for that one? Great. And from the College of Engineering?
We have 1 nominee, Dr. Lee Cho, assistant professor of computer science. I really like him. If you want a good laugh, he has a great dry sense of humor.
Excellent. Any other nominees from the College of Engineering? All right, we will move on to the next one. Next is the Faculty Handbook Committee. The Faculty Handbook Committee is an important committee. It looks like we need to replace one position. This person can come from any college. And do we have any nominees for this position?
Well, I have Dr. Sarah Russian from College of Fine Arts and Humanities.
Okay.
She has been intensively involved in all kinds of a curriculum and curriculum design and those activities. So I believe she knows she would bring about brand new insights into the faculty handbook.
Thank you.
The College of Engineering would like to nominate Dr. Vinu Unikrishnan. We feel that this is probably one of the most important committees at the university, and so we are putting forth our best and our brightest. Dr. Yu has the attention to detail that I feel like is needed on this committee. He won the research award in our college, I believe for the whole university, and then he also was the recent recipient of the $50,000 research grant, and I apologize, the name fails me, but I feel like Dr. Yu is really committed to the university and will do a great job on this committee.
I've been sitting in on Handbook Committee as the Faculty Advisory Council President as a non-voting member. I am not an official member, but it is one of the very most important committees for sure. The Handbook Committee, they do fantastic work. They do very important work. That's really where I feel like the sausage is kind of made. Typically speaking, Dr. Schaefer chairs that one, and he does an amazing job. And I'm actually going to self-nominate for this one, so I would like to nominate myself from the College of Education and Social Sciences, but no pressure to vote for me or anything. I self-nominated before on Senate on a committee, and I lost out, so it's totally fine.
Have one more from the College of Education, Sahir. I was probably mutilate this. Sheikh. She is from counseling. She's fairly new to us, and so she's been here for about a year. Awesome with the help of our downtown facility, which is part of the counseling. And so she does see some people that come there, and then her wanting to be excited to come.
Real quick question, Dr. Barbosa, is she tenured?
Oh, and she's not tenured, is she? There's tenured track, but not tenured. They have to be tenured.
They have to be
Yeah,
tenured.
they're tenured.
Yeah.
Does Handbook Committee have to be tenured?
I would think so. I don't know.
I didn't know.
Policy says it. As a best practice, those are pretty important decisions that are made.
I agree.
I don't think there's a technical requirement for that. I don't think so. I mean, I agree it should be, but I don't think it's actually a requirement.
It doesn't say at least be someone back here that doesn't
Yeah.
say that it is. So certainly can be considered.
Okay. Any other nominations for Handbook Committee? All right. Next, we have the student.
I'll actually address it because I don't think that you could end up making someone tenured, because one of the things you got to keep in mind is that a lot of the stuff in the handbook is going to impact instructors too. There'd be no way. So forget even tenure track. There'd be no way you end up having a policy, something like a handbook, that would not permit instructors to end up having input on that material. So it can't be this tenure. There is a counter argument to that saying,
Sure.
instructors would be here for 40 years. And they should have, those policies all impact them.
And I agree with you. And also to add it to that, she is a counselor, and so she knows everything about student handbook in K-12 schools. So it kind of gives her expertise lean to it.
Next, Student Grievance Committee. We need one person from the Education and Social Sciences and one person from the College of Fine Arts and Humanities. Ray, do you want to say all these? I know I have several down here, but do you want to? You want me to? All right. First of all, I have Dr. Maxine DeBute from Education and Social Sciences. I also have Beth Garcia. I also have Meg DeJong Shear.
Meg.
I call her Meg. Yeah. I also have Robin Johnson. And I have Sarah Alamdari. Dr. DeButte's a professor of psychology. She's been at WT for quite a while. Dr. Dejong Shear, she recently received her doctorate in social work. She was an instructor. Now I believe she's on an assistant professor track. Dr. Sarah Alamdari, she is going up for tenure right now. She will soon, I assume, be an associate professor of social work. You want to say anything about, I think we already covered the other two. Bruce, anything about Beth Garcia?
You guys know she's been around for a while. She served on especially when you see her at our graduations, she served on, going with Dr. Anderson down the aisle. So you know who she is. She's really invested in here into our specifically for our students. And so she's a bilingual K-12 teacher by trade.
And do we have the same for those?
Yes.
Right. All right, great. And what about from the College of Fine Arts and Humanities?
Our nominee, this is student grievance. Kimberly Heeb, Sarah Rushing, and Sarah Beckham Turner. Lee, do you want to say anything about
Yeah, I have introduced Sarah Rushing multiple times, so you might already know her. And Dr. Kimberly Hill is from School of Music. She is also the director of Master of Music program. So I believe she works with a lot of art students, especially music students. And Dr. Sarah Beckham Turner also works for with those art students. She has been intensively involved in those all kinds of like performance activities. So she works intensively with those students too. So I believe so. It's all these nominees are truly work a lot with those students. So they might have already helped students resolve many issues, so I believe they should all be good at. They should all be good candidates for these positions. Right? Is there anything you would like to add?
All right. Next, we'll move on to Honors Council, where we need 5 individuals. 1 from Agriculture and Natural Sciences, 1 from Business, 1 from the College of Engineering, 1 from Education and Social Sciences, and 1 from Nursing and Health Sciences. And we'll start from the top.
Before you do this one,
Yes.
this is Honors Council with Dr. Baum, is that correct?
Mhm.
She doesn't pick people? We
I
sure
don't
about
believe
this?
so.
There have been debates on this before, and usually it's one of those things, like, she doesn't want people on Honors Council that are just doing this to serve on a committee. She wants people that are actually committed to Honors Council. So I thought we had taken this out as a group to elect. You can still put people in there, but I think you gotta follow up with her, because it doesn't make sense into going through and have an honors council where someone goes through and says, yeah,
Sure.
put me on the alcohol and drug committee, put me on honors council, put me on, that's not a person who's committed to honors council.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's be honest with that. You want someone that goes through and says, I was an honor student or something along those lines, and I would like to end up going through and serve that particular group. And that normally is best served by that individual, the person that's running it, kind of going through and getting through it. So I thought we had changed that. I may be wrong, but that may also be a reason why
Sure.
there's so many vacancies, is because this is a leftover of something that hasn't been changed in the handbook whenever they're not.
Yeah.
This group isn't getting
Yeah.
that person anymore. So that's my impression. And I've had that discussion with her. They're going through and saying, like, it's not great to end up having people that are not committed to honors, serving on honors council. We have 200 students that we're serving. As I've said, I bring it out. I'm not sure this is one you guys need to fill.
All right. That sounds like sound reasoning to me.
That's good reasoning for every committee though, right? I mean,
Well,
even
sure.
the alcohol. I mean, why would anybody,
There's no doubt about it.
that's a safe bet.
I mean, Dr. Terry, this is your committee. Do you want us to fill this, or would you
I
rather?
wouldn't. I think that you're wasting your time on it.
Okay.
I think
All
it's going to go through. If she wants that, then I think it'd be okay. But I'd be very sensitive to someone that's running an organization like that and making sure that that's. And I think she has a group that ends up doing it. So
Okay.
I think this is one where you go through and say, yeah, they haven't changed it. The person's been gone for 3 years. I think this is one that's fallen through the cracks. So.
All right.
And I'll make a note and follow up with Dr.
Sure.
Anderson on this and just verify.
All right, we will not fill honors committee. So we will move on to the next one. Information and Technology Advisory Committee. We need one faculty member from the College of Business.
So for interrupting, I believe we need one more person to replace the current committee member from College of Fine Arts and Humanities as well. I received an email from that person, Dr. David Hart, last week saying he does no longer want to be on this committee. So,
Oh, okay.
So and as a result, we Fine Arts and Humanities received
I think we
4
can do that.
nominations.
Okay, I
Yes,
think we can do that. Great.
I could forward that email
Yeah.
to you in a while.
We'll start out with the College of Business then. Nominee.
We nominate Carl Shane, Professor of Computer Information Decision.
Any other nominees? All right. And then a nominee from Fine Arts and Humanities then?
Our nominees for Information Technology Advisory Council, Angelo Odierno, Nicholas Scales, Monica Hart, and Martin Jacobson. And I can speak to the latter two. Monica Hart I think would be great for both of these folks would be great for this committee. Monica Hart is one of our most innovative teachers when it comes to using technology in new ways. She won a Distinguished Innovation in Teaching Award as recently as 2023. She's very interested in thinking about online texts and textbooks and OER resources and that kind of thing. Really interested in approaching that in a serious way, thoughtful way. And Marty Jacobson's research background includes a lot of reflections on literacy in online contexts, cyber discursivity, as he talks about. So I think both of those folks would be great. I don't know if Lee, if you can speak to the other two.
Yeah, sure. Dr. Angelo Odierno and Dr. Nicholas Scales are both from the art side of our college. They teach like art, theater, dance, and music classes. So art faculty and students, the subjects are very different from humanities, and I believe they use information technologies in a very different way from like English, communication, or history. So I believe they will bring about novel insights into the use of information technology in teaching art-related subjects.
Great. Next, we will move on to the Instructional Technology Committee. We need one member from the College of Business, one from the College of Education and Social Sciences, one from Fine Arts and Humanities. We'll start with the College of Business. College of Business, do you have a nominee?
Yes, Nate Shrew.
Nate True. Excellent. Any other nominations? Now, Ray, I don't know about you. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Who do you have? I have her. All right. I will just put this over so that you can write these down as I read them off. Dr. Piper Beery, Assistant Professor of Political Science. Dr. Lydia Miller, Assistant Professor of Psychology. Dr. Misty Song. And where is she at in education?
She is in the doctorate program.
Excellent. And Dr. Adam Weiss.
Adam Weiss is in the undergrad ed research.
Okay. And,
Master back. Let me take that back. Master's course.
And Dr. Krista Favela.
Krista's been with us for a long time. You might know her. That's the reason why I bring her up. She's been in technology forever. So we were writing 2 articles right now about AI. So she's awesome. She helps us out. She's bailed us, the whole college, both sides, out big time.
And Dr. Sohee Kim, Assistant Professor of Criminal Justice. She's been here at WT now for 3 years and is my very close colleague. So. Excellent. And the Fine Arts and Humanities.
Our nominees are Dr. Laura Mueller in philosophy, Dr. Kimberly Heeb in music, Dr. Ryan Ingebrigtsen also in music. Lee Chen, as I talked about Dr. Heeb before. I will say Dr. Mueller would be great. She's also said that she would be willing to not be on the committee if others were more interested in it. So I'm just throwing that out there. Dr. Ingebrigtsen, I think he seems like a really interesting person for this committee because he's from the music department. He teaches electronic music, composition, but he also has a PhD in informatics with an emphasis on interactive performance systems. And I don't know what that means, but it sounds very like he would be a thoughtful advocate for thinking about using instructional technology. In other words, I think he would bridge thinking about like the humanities, but also approaching this from a pretty rigorous perspective. So those are our nominees.
Great. We will move on to the Intercollegial Athletic Council, where we need one faculty member from the College of Engineering. In the College of Engineering, do you have a nominee?
We do. We would like to nominate Dr. Mohammed Siddiqui for this committee.
Excellent. Just one. Just one? All right. Next, we have several positions from the Parking Committee. 5. I currently serve on the Parking Committee. We have not gotten together at all this year, so we'll start out from the College of Agriculture and Natural Sciences. Do you have a nominee?
We would like to nominate Kayla Allward. She's an animal science professor, assistant professor, and she started the Dairy Club. But I think she would be interested in parking. And we'd also like to nominate Chi Kong from Ag Business and Economics. Her car got hit this week, so she might be interested in parking.
Well, I got a parking ticket a few weeks ago, and I'm on the parking committee.
You didn't flash in your badge?
No, heavens no.
Don't you make an argument you were just testing and seeing it?
Seeing if it works, yeah, testing the process. I'll make that argument, yeah. I don't think that's going to fly with Jerry, though. Next, from the College of Business.
We nominate Scott Jones. He's an assistant professor of finance.
Thank you. Next, from the College of Engineering.
We would like to nominate Dr. Swastika Bithi, who is already currently serving on the Parking Committee.
Thank you. Next, from Fine Arts and Humanities.
Well, we have 2 nominations. One is Randy Ray, who is currently serving on the Parking Committee, and the other is Sarah Rushing. Well, Sarah Rushing is intensively involved in a lot of activities with students, but she would like to have more opportunities to serve on those committees as well, because parking is something that is concerned with all of us. And this is something she wanted to do too. And also Randy Ray, he might be he might be the only person in our department who drives a wide variety of vehicles, because he oversees KWTS and also the radio station. So he not only drives his regular car, but he drives those big trucks with all kinds of equipment, expensive things. So I believe he has intensive knowledge about parking on campus.
Excellent. And Nursing and Health Sciences.
We have 2 nominees. The first is Heather Farrell, who's an instructor in sports and exercise science, does athletic training. She reached out. She's passionate about serving on a committee. I know her personally. I know that she's been part of WT long enough to understand both the logistical challenges involved with parking and also probably some of the personal frustrations that come along with parking. The second nominee is Dr. Colleen Peace, who Allie has mentioned a few times. She obviously sounds very passionate about serving too, as she volunteered for a few of these committees.
Great. All right. Next committee. The Student Endowment Scholarship Committee. It looks like we need to fill almost all of these positions. So we will start from the top with Agriculture and Natural Sciences.
We would like to nominate Bailey Young. She's an assistant professor in ag business and economics. She does very well at anything that you give her a task to do. So I think she would be very good on this committee. I think she's also involved in scholarships in our department already. So she has some experience there. We would also like to nominate Sarah Louise Newcomer. She's the director of the Animal Companion Program, and I think she would provide a good perspective for students.
Can you say that name one more time for us, Dr. Guerrero?
Sarah Louise Newcomer.
Excellent. Thank you. And the College of Business.
Robin Clark.
Any other nominees? All right. College of Engineering.
We nominate Dr. Ben Iskarian.
And Education and Social Sciences. I have two. Beth Garcia. Beth Garcia and Brianna Ponce. You have another one besides those two, Ray? Okay. Fine Arts and Humanities.
We have four nominees. Kimberly Heeb and Sarah Beckman Turner, who've come up before. Again, that shows, I think, they're passionate and wanting to serve. They're both particularly interested in serving on committees that help students. So I think they would be great. Also, we have two other nominees, Bradley Berman, who I believe is a musician. He's in the music department. And Sarah Sprouse, who's in EPML. I know they're both passionate about students. I can particularly say Sarah Sprouse is, she is always, she is a part of the EPML scholarship committee. So she has lots of experience thinking about helping students find funding, trying to empower students in that way. So I think she'd be an excellent fit for this.
I don't think it matters, but I think Bradley is theater.
Bradley is theater, yeah.
Thank you. And the College of Nursing and Health Sciences.
We have three. Ryan Thompson, once again, another one who has volunteered for multiple committees, so clearly passionate about serving. Courtney McGuire from Sports and Exercise Science, who I do not know personally. Do you, Allie? So I'm sorry. I don't
We think they're amazing, though.
I have no doubt.
All of
I
these
have
people
no
are
doubt.
amazing. That's what I want to say.
Background check is good.
Yes, the background check is good. Yes. And then Allie Freemole here, who clearly is passionate about serving and obviously has the respect of the college being here on this committee.
And I will say that I feel a little odd nominating myself, but I've served on the School of Nursing Scholarship Committee for 3 years, and I actually developed the rubric that we use to go through all the scholarship
Nice.
applications. So
Great.
I've become pretty passionate about this one.
Great. So thank you, everyone. We will move on to the next one.
Can
You guys
we,
have one more?
can we also nominate one more?
Of course.
Peyton Gouldy has been doing our scholarships so if we can renominate someone who's already been on there,
Yes.
we would like to do that.
All right.
Peyton Gouldy.
I was hoping they were watching live and they wanted in on the action and texted you.
It's Friday. We weren't thinking.
Right, next is Student Handbook Committee. We need 2 faculty members. They can be from any college. Why don't we just start with Agriculture and Natural Sciences?
We have 2. I'll start with Rachel Kogel. I think after this summer, this will be she'll complete her first year here at WT, and she's already really jumped in. And I know the students really like her, and I think she's really wanting to get involved and serve. So I think she'd be a great one for this one.
Excellent.
And then Dr. Huganta Roy. He teaches chemistry, and he's super smart, and he's also looking for ways to get involved.
It's Juganta, Roy.
Thank you. College of Business, anyone from you? All right, excellent. College of Engineering?
We would like to nominate Dr. Fatima Sadat. She goes by Ozzy Tabay. She has been here, I believe she is going up for tenure next year. And she has been amazing. She has been phenomenal at securing grants in our college. She's very student oriented, always tries to do as much as she can. I would also say that she helps facilitate sessions at our annual engineering camp, which if you've ever tried to wrangle that many kids in one room, it's a challenge. But she's really committed to students, and she really wanted to serve on this committee.
Great. Education and Social Sciences? It's all you.
Abby Harriman, she's part of the counseling department, so she's same thing. She's one of this, like I said before, one of our counselors that know everything about student handbook and K-12 schools, especially for our region 16.
Excellent. And Fine Arts and Humanities.
Well, I don't think we have received any.
We do. Remember from before?
From earlier, this, I feel like you solicited nominations for this earlier in the semester. Okay, well, the people who put their hat in the ring back then included Sarah Rushing, again, passionate to serve, has volunteered for many committees, especially student-oriented committees. Also, Eunice Namani. He, I think, would be great. He's a new faculty member. He's a graphic designer. He's in the arts program. So I know he's looking to get involved in service. So those are our 2 nominees.
Nursing and Health Sciences, anyone for Student Handbook Committee?
Dr. Azra Barakovich has asked to be on this committee. She is on the handbook committee in the School of Nursing, the Student Handbook Committee. And again, she has requested to be on several committees. She just wants to be involved, and she's very student oriented.
Great.
Can I nominate 2 other people who have strong passion to serve on those committees, but they nominated themselves
Of course.
for committees that do not need to be filled
Sure.
this year. So since their names are here, I just nominated them for
Yeah.
the Student Handbook Committee. One is Echo Sibley. No, in fact, she nominated herself for the University Curriculum Committee, but we don't need a person from finance this year. So if she is fine with, are you okay with this, Ryan? I just move her here because
So we don't need a nominee from Fine Arts and Humanities for University Curriculum?
yes, according to this form.
No, we're not on curriculum yet. We're still on Student Handbook Committee.
Student Handbook, because she nominated herself for a committee that does not need people to be filled this year.
My understanding is she nominated herself for the University Curriculum
So then,
Committee, and we do need someone from Fine Arts?
We're just nominating for Student Handbook Committee right now. It can be
Okay.
any faculty member from any college.
Sure, if you want to go ahead and nominate her for that as well.
yes, I would like to nominate Echo Sibley for for the Student Handbook Committee as well. She is overseeing the one of those art theater dance programs. So she also intensively works with students.
All right.
And also we have, she also nominated herself, that is Chung Ha Nam from music. She hosts, Dr. Nam is a professor of piano, and she has been hosting a summer music piano camp for many years. So she has intensive experiences working with students too.
All right, excellent. Thank you. Next, we'll move on to Student Honors Committee. This one is tenured faculty members only. Dr. Terry, could you by chance give us any insight on why this one is tenured only?
I was wondering that myself, so I don't.
All right.
have no idea as to why.
Okay, all right. But we are tenured only for this one. And if you do look, it is
So-
non-tenured faculty who are currently serving. So we do like to follow the rules here. So we'll be seeking tenured people only. For this position, we need someone from the College of Engineering.
And Dr. Allen, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we would like to nominate Dr. Anirban Powell, assuming board approval on tenure. He went up for tenure this year?
I can't confirm how that went, but
He's moved forward.
Okay, so pending,
Tell you about 3
pending,
weeks.
pending
board
sister,
approval.
yes.
Yes. Excellent. Also, we have one from the Education and Social Sciences.
Bridget Whaley, Dr. Bridget Whaley. She's very heavily involved with students across the area. She's been actually also too on Fox News in Seattle and everywhere else. We're just talking about how she's really involved, and so she's really wanting to serve this particular this committee.
I also have Dr. Beth Garcia and Dr. Ashley Pinkham from Education and Social Sciences. Nursing and Health Sciences, a nominee.
We have one, Dr. Blake Price, who's in a similar situation, but is confident that he will be tenured by the time this
Pending
starts.
board approval.
Correct.
I have no reason to believe anyone's in trouble. Say something, may know different information in a couple of weeks, but as of now, I have no concerns. Nothing's been pushed back. Everybody's good, so I'll be
We
confident.
think we'll be good there. All right, lastly, University Curriculum Committee. It looks like we only need one position from the College of Education and Social Sciences. Dr. Barbosa, do you have anyone?
Lee Green, Dr. Lee Green. She's been around for a while, so she's an associate professor in counseling. She is our director of counseling also.
I have one. I have Dr. Ashley Pinkham from Education and Social Sciences. All right, well, thank you, colleagues. I feel like that went pretty well, right? Oh, yes, we have someone from the live stream.
I'm so, no. Yes, sorry to interrupt again, but I really think on the Student Endowment Scholarship Committee, ANS needs to revoke the 2 nominations for Bailey and Sarah Louise.
It just needs to be Peyton
It just
Goldie.
needs to be
Okay,
Peyton.
well, you want to take them off?
Please.
Yeah, just
All right.
Peyton Goldie. Keep
Thank
her
you.
on.
Please and thank you.
All right. Well,
So,
Dr.
the only person you wanted to keep is Payne. Oh,
Dr. Chen and Dr. Med are obviously doing the very hard work over here, writing down all the names.
Spelling.
Yes. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for that, colleagues. So we will make that Qualtrics survey. We'll ensure we give you guys at least a few days to fill that out. We talked amongst each other. We were thinking Tuesday by the end of the day, but depending upon when we get that to you, we'll make sure we give you plenty of time. Again, there probably will be ties. If they are, we'll just keep doing it. And then we will forward those names off to the Office of Academic Affairs.
If we get in a situation, I don't know it'll happen, but since you have a couple people that are in the mix a lot, I would say that maybe leave the door open that if, so you don't like the Academy Awards where one movie wins 10 awards. I don't think we want a faculty member to end up going through and be elected 10 times. And you don't know whenever you're voting, like, I don't know that they get the other one. So I do think that if you just give a little bit of leeway to the officers to go through and say, hey, can we check back with the college representatives if someone like won 5 times? Or we can maybe get that down to a couple and spread that around a little bit and work with you individually. It just seems, may not be an issue,
Yeah.
but it could be based on
I think that's
a few of
great.
these. Because I don't think that's the intent. Someone might be willing to serve. I don't think they wanted to serve on every committee. And so I don't think that will happen, but I could come with a scenario where someone could like serve 3 times. And that maybe you want to check back with you and say, is that the intent here? Or do you want to continue that? Or should we maybe mix this around a little bit and just do that with the representatives from the college?
I think that's an excellent point. And so the executive committee and I will be very cognizant of that. We feel like we need to do some of that shuffling. I think we'll reach out to all of you. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Terry. So we do have the Faculty Advisory Council Appreciation Lunch with President Windler on Friday, May 8th. And so hopefully you will all be there. I know as under Faculty Senate, it was always a pleasant and a good time. So if you can, we definitely love to see all of you there. The Faculty Advisory Council members, we do technically speaking serve through the summer. If you look, believe your term ends if you're possibly rolling off at the end of July, but occasionally stuff does come up during the summer. So I just urge you to please check your emails on occasion. More likely than not, something will come up for sure with Ombuds officer. And so if there is something that's going on, I may need to reach out to all of you. I know I'll be here on campus all summer, still serving as president of the Faculty Advisory Council, but it's obviously not my show. It's all of our shows, and it's really the faculty show. And so if I need something, I'll definitely reach out to all of you. Also, we do need to stagger the terms. I've been speaking with Dr. Windler and the executive committee on how to do this. Technically, according to our rules, the terms need to be staggered. For those of you who are appointed by the president, you serve 1-year terms. So I have reached out to those individuals to kind of seek their thoughts and feedback. I'll continue to reach out to them and work with Dr. Windler and the executive committee to figure out how we're best going to make that work. Questions on that? Lastly is Magister Optimus. Dr. Terry, since we have the pleasure of having you here, would you like to say anything about the Magister Optimus Award, kind of what it is, the intent behind it, or any thoughts or anything on it?
I think it's just faculty recognizing faculty. I don't think it's your award for whoever you think is someone that is almost like your ideal representative as a faculty member from an institutional perspective. And so I think it's a pretty big award because this is as high a level of peer recognition as we have, right? And so my only thing with this is that I think for 3 years we were selecting department heads and stuff, and so I was pretty negative on that.
Yeah.
So you get rid of that. I really have no.
And we ended
concern.
that. Yes.
Yeah, I have no concern. I'm sure those were, to be fair, the department heads they're faculty administrators. They're not full-time administrators, so there's nothing wrong with doing it. But I don't think that's ever been the intent. I think the intent is that this is a faculty-based award and recognizing other faculty. So.
Excellent, thank you. So we do have 3 nominees. I did meet with the executive committee and we discussed how to best approach voting for this. We didn't feel comfortable doing it over Qualtrics. We didn't feel like that was secure enough in case someone wanted to try and rig it or something. And so the executive committee and I decided that we're going to have those members on the Faculty Advisory Council who were voted in. They are going to vote because typically with Magister Optimus, we discuss the candidates amongst ourselves. We are on live stream, so obviously we don't want to do that. According to the law, if there is a quorum of the Faculty Advisory Council together, we have to live stream it. So if we stick with just those 6 elected individuals, we will not have a quorum. So we can discuss that amongst ourselves. That doesn't mean we don't want input from those people who are appointed, because we definitely do. So what we're going to do is I have the 3 nomination letters in these folders. I'll hand them out to those members who are elected. They'll meet up with their appointed counterparts. So Ray and I will get together. Ray will read the letters. I've obviously read the letters, but I would read the letters. He and I will discuss. Once you guys are ready, we will dismiss those individuals who are appointed. We'll only keep those individuals who are college elected, and then we will go ahead and we will vote, and then we will send that name off to the president's office and the Office of Academic Affairs, because we obviously don't select people. Questions, criticisms, or thoughts on that?
There has to be a better way. But yeah, it seems like y'all have come up with a jury-rigged solution that will.
All right, so if you are, I know who the elected ones are, but if you just want to raise your hands, I will bring you around a folder. If you are elected, raise your hand, please. And then you will meet with your college counterpart. Now, traditionally speaking, we do not release the names of those people who have been nominated. That is not like a formal rule or anything. That is just kind of a norm that we have gone off of. So do remember, we are being live streamed. And so I would recommend you not actually mention anyone's name, but you and your counterpart from your college sit there and read the letters. There are 3.
Well, we should. One thing that you probably have to decide is that just street started again. I felt that you had to keep it. That's your strong preference. You probably wouldn't have the trophy that you're still by that, but to found someone, you get the cash by it. No. Okay. So you guys can go through and decide. That's something that the whole year versus the year is not looked at. Versus that starts at always put at risk of the people being involved besides that. Yeah, you guys can decide. Let me know. All right. Great. Yeah, thank you.
I do have a copy I don't need. Does anybody?
You read fast.
I will say I think all 3 of these people are absolutely phenomenal. So I think we got a difficult decision to make, but a good selection of candidates.
So it would have been not appropriate or feasible to send these out in advance, probably, right? Like this is why this. You made that choice carefully.
Mm-hmm. I mean, take your time. I don't. I mean, we got the live stream people here. I can start doing like a song or dance or something to keep people entertained. But I think we're fine on time. So I don't think there's any rush or anything. Burn, yeah. Uh-huh. I've got a metal wastebasket over here. Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought we had to eat them.
No.
And it doesn't get announced. The only person who knows is the president. We don't announce it. So it's kind of annoying. I agree. We did have a faculty senate president a few years ago. I won't name the individual. They accidentally said who won when they weren't supposed to. I will do my best not to make that same error. So we do try and keep it a relative secret, which I believe is why we, generally speaking, don't mention who was nominated. Yeah, at some point you want to meet with your counterpart if you guys want to discuss how to vote. Now, obviously that elected person doesn't have to go by what the appointed one says, but I assume you guys probably want to discuss it out. But if Ray tells me to vote for someone and I don't want to, obviously I don't have to. He and I can go fight it out in the back alley afterwards or something. So, but yeah, I assume you want to confer with your college counterpart and see if you guys want to discuss it all, how you want to vote.
Brendan, do you want us to move to dismiss the meeting? Or?
I guess everyone, I'll meet up here with Ray, and then I think we'll have everybody go. So.
Yes. Once I saw it,
Wherever you want to talk. Yep. We are still technically in session. Yeah, but we're still in session, so if you can wait just a second, yeah. As long as you don't mind. I mean, if you really need to go, I mean, we're not holding you hostage or anything. Not usually. Well, I remember one time I was speaking with, I kind of think of him as the Wizard of Oz. He's usually over in that room back there. It was right before one of the starts of our meetings, and he was like, "You have like 3 viewers." And I was like, "I bet it's Dr. Terry and my parents."
Some of my colleagues have.
Good.
They've worked in.
I've had a few. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, yeah, we need to distribute this.
All right, we're just waiting for Lee and Ryan. Okay.
And I let Dr.
All right, they're back. Excellent. So we will, before I do officially end our meeting, colleagues, I do just want to extend to you my genuine thanks on behalf of all of the faculty for all the work that we've done here this year. I know it's been very difficult. I appreciate all of your time on these Fridays. I know up in my floor right now, there are like no faculty up there. So I appreciate you guys coming in once a month for all of your help and assistance. And I really do think we have something here that we should be proud of. And it's been a privilege to serve with all of you. So with that said, we will officially end the meeting then, because we won't have a quorum here soon. Thank you all. So the appointed people, you are all dismissed, and the elected people, if you can stay around, and we will vote on Magister Optimus. So take care, everyone.